Today, we're going to do something a little different when we finally get into it. But I'm going to start by wishing everyone a happy Monday and hope you had a good weekend. We got to watch some wrestling. Yes, anything. We watched NASCAR yesterday. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could watch. So let's hope you got to enjoy it. And if you're in one of those states where they're finally loosening up restrictions and stuff and making it easier to be able to go out and do stuff, hopefully you got to go and enjoy it because it's been a long time coming. And I don't know how long it's going to last, but hopefully you got to enjoy it. Now we're going to move into what I did with my time, which besides watching the race was just sitting there and going through stuff on the good old network. WWE before it's going to be over on the Peacock, I believe, coming Thursday. And then come April, everything's going to officially be on there on Peacock, and there won't be a WWE network. Will be through Peacock. But I went through. I found some good old gems in there that you forget about. Let's get back, and some newer stuff that you people might not know about. But I mean, first season of Tough Enough. Like that's way back there. And that's just crazy back there to see everyone on there. And see what came of all that, just to see it. Triple H going in and talking to people. Stephanie, when she was talking to the ladies, when she was still a baby back then, that was still baby Steph. Mick Foley, all kinds of big, Stone Cold and Deborah showed up at that. I mean, like all kinds of big names that showed up to give these people the time of day on it. It's just amazing. Like, just to think about it. And then you look at the talent. I mean, look how long Josh Matthews was with the company. Wasn't really in the ring, but I mean, look how long he was, talking, commentating, doing stuff like that. I mean, Josh Matthews was with the company for a pretty good amount of time, which is just amazing. Chris Nowitzki, we saw him do his thing there. I mean, he was in the ring when Scott Steiner made his, debut in the WWE and just got mauled, but he got out because of concussions. Look what he's doing now with CTE and all that stuff, and brain injuries, which I am all for because I've had enough concussions to know that repeatedly getting them, that has to just be terrible on the brain. So I know where my memory is, so I can just imagine. But he was there. Nydia. I mean, we don't remember. I mean, what was she mostly known for? There's stuff with Jamie Noble. But I mean, you remember Nydia. If you watched wrestling back then, you definitely remember Nydia. Maven. And look at him. He eliminated Taker from a Royal Rumble one year. Did that feud with him as hardcore champion. I mean, he did all kinds of stuff. And just listen to all those names that all were just season number 1. Like, it's amazing when you think about it. Like that much talent just came out of, that. And I like that version better than I like, the newer ones, which I thought were just, and dumb, like obstacle courses and this, that, and the other. But I mean, that was a great season. When you go back, you'll see you could sit down and easily watch all of that in a row. I mean, at least I did. It was great. So make sure if you get a chance, go back there and look at it in all of its glory. And it was just a fresh idea. Here's what they got ready to go. Or I can just to see what all the kids were capable of anyway. I mean, it was great. Now Snow was there doing Al Snow thing. He didn't like to get much, people don't like to give him credit, but Al Snow was, in the ring, that they trusted him enough to do that and run some other developmental territories, like areas. I mean, that training, like that tells you how good he was. He was in there training everyone, other people to do that. That's how much faith they had with him, and they knew what he could do in the ring. Which is just great. Another thing. I mean, if you watch other seasons, you see people like now John Morrison. Get cut one year. And back the next. The Miz. He was on one of the seasons. The man who, Ryback, he was on, NXT when they did it, but he was on, he was on Tough Enough with Miz. If I remember correctly. I haven't gotten through all the seasons, but I got through 2. Just out there and, man, just watching all that. Then you can watch Bruce Pritchard's show. I think it's great. Something else to wrestle. Tim and Conrad. If you want to know stories about those things and people, like, sit down and watch it. There's a reason and why in real life they're like literally number one like podcast going, like wrestling podcasts. They're way up there. Like it's a great show, and the one on the network is great. They get well over an hour most of the time. Sit there and just talk and ask questions and just hash out stuff that used to happen. That's a great thing. I think everyone needs that. Everyone needs, like go back. Because then you hear what they say about it, and then you turn around and you go back and you watch stuff and go, man, that's like really good stuff. And stuff you just didn't know, but then you put and it's on the network, so you can go back and watch exactly what they were talking about right when you're done listening to them, which is amazing. There's all kinds of stuff that we're surprised they talked. I mean, CM Punk getting a whole episode. Well, I mean, the way that him and the company were at the time. He might done the FS1 thing where he worked for Fox, but I mean, still do it WWE. Punk and them, well, we all know well they get along. But you get to see like stuff about Taker and all of his evolutions. Old Shawn Michaels when he was a problem child. Cena, like there's all kinds of good stuff they talk about on that show. Not Sam Wrestling. Sam Roberts. I mean, he looks like Mick Foley and Dean Ambrose if we took their faces and just mushed them together into one. But I love his show on there too. There's not, I mean, same thing. Podcast. Where all podcasts are. Like go on there, you can find it. It's there. Like there's all of that, and it's amazing. Like just to sit there and listen to the different things that he talks about, and then he breaks it down, in a different way in his style, his thing than what Bruce and Conrad do. But it's still an amazing show. And they go over all kinds of stuff, more stuff. And you sit there and just think and go, man, like, yep, that was really good. And like, and he gives his perspective for why he watches wrestling, and I agree with a lot of it. He might be a weird little dude, but I mean, it's a good thing going that he has there. I mean, so many old pay-per-views. Like I went and watched 02 Survivor Series just to see the original Elimination Chamber, where Shawn Michaels, who we all thought was like done because he was gone for so many years, had that one-off the Triple H SummerSlam in the street fight, and he's in jeans. And then he shows up and wins the title in the chamber, in the first chamber, in cowboy boots. Shows you just how ready he was for the whole, like, getting back in the ring. Look how long that lasted and all the great matches he had after that. Between him and Kurt, Cena, matches with Taker, match with Rick, Mania. There's a Mania. I mean, look at those matches. Like, there was so, like, and you can go back and watch all those gems, all the TLC matches, like the original ones, where you're just sitting there looking at Jeff all the time, like the spear when he was dangling from the belt. I mean, just him and Edge doing that. Like it's worth going back and watching. Like it was like, again, the one I already talked about, Kurt Angle and Shane, the street fight at King of the Ring. I mean, that was a fight. Kurt needed it for his character. Shane's always out there doing that great. That's what Shane does. Crazy athletic, but he takes crazy risks. But look at it, though. It's amazing. You can go watch Icons about Yokozuna, so you can learn all kinds of things about Yokozuna that you probably didn't know. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When you have anything wrong with that, you're probably a little off your rocker. Go back and watch the original WrestleMania. So much stuff. Watch all the Stone Cold stuff. There's some great episodes on there. Them sitting down just talking with people, especially the two Taker ones, no matter what, those are going to be the ones. Just because we did go so long without Taker, ever saying a word about anything. And then suddenly, boom, now to give us stories is great. There's so much stuff on there. And we're coming up on Fastlane. You can go back and watch all the Fastlanes. Just to see, what they did there. All the different WrestleManias to catch up, which I'm going to do. Before, Mania comes around. We only got a little bit of time. I'm going to sit down and try to watch as many of the Manias as I can. Give my piece on them. Because there's just so many on there. You can see Stone Cold and Booker at the grocery store again. I mean, there's so Attitude Era stuff, all the documentary, there's so much there. Like, and I highly recommend if you don't have it. I mean, if you have Peacock, then it's gonna be there. Go back and watch some stuff. Like reminisce on the old days, then try to watch some of the newer stuff because it doesn't suck anymore. It still has its moments, but I mean, compared to where it was, it's good. So, man, that's all. Like, it's just so amazing, and God, like again, just all the pay-per-views, Attitude Era, the really old stuff, like the stuff before that. You see the Dusties and the Ric Flairs and all these people wrestling and doing all these moments. Randy Savage, the Warrior. Like there's so many you could see, all the way through the Attitude Era stuff to scantily clad women to like Benoit matches to like there's just so much. Celebrity things, the Tyson and Austin stuff. I mean, there's just an unfathomable amount of stuff out there. So if you don't have it, get it. Get Peacock, really, because there's no point getting the network because it's about to be gone. It's going to be part of Peacock, but get Peacock so you can sit down and watch this stuff starting Thursday, I believe it is. Because it's really, there's so much stuff on there, it's worth it. And then I can have conversations more with all of y'all. Well, with that being said, I'm going to cut this one easy on you. Stuff to do. Gotta get ready for Raw. I know, hours away, but get some stuff done before that happens. And tomorrow we're going to go over that. So like, listen, share, follow, tag people, comment, tell me what you think, tell me what you want me to watch, please. I do this for me, but I do it for you guys too, is open up the conversation. And again, Wrestling with Ski on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. So they're all there. As long as you follow me on Rumble, you can see them there. And tomorrow we'll get over this Raw stuff. But until then, take care of each other, be good to each other. Until tomorrow, my friends, peace.